Hey YouTube, this is Dan with Chasing the Wind, and this is going to be part 2 of the basics or the fundamentals of flying a quadcopter. We're going to build on our skills that we learned in the previous video, which was hovering, pitching forward and back, and rolling left and right. So we're going to put those skills together today, and we're going to start working on turns left and right and figure eights. So again, what we do is give it a little throttle, and you'll notice I have a different quadcopter right here today, and that's because I feel this is more of a beginner's appropriate quadcopter. It's the SEMA X5C-1, and there's other variants of this that are really good, but this is certainly a very good beginner's quadcopter. It's very stable. Again, today I've got a little bit of wind, but you can see this quadcopter pretty much will fly itself. Now, what we're going to do, again, remember, throttle control, always throttle control. And we're going to keeping the nose away, forward, out from us. And again, just to recap yesterday's skills, it was out, back, left, and right. So we're going to build on that today. Just kind of watch my hands as we go out. We're going to make a slow turn to the left. I'm getting used to the throttle on this. I haven't flown it in a while. And then we'll do a banking turn to the right. And so if you haven't done these before, it can be a little scary at first, but just go real slow and easy on the controls. The main thing is to practice and make sure that you're doing throttle control on it. We get out of the way of this car again. Alright, so again, out, bank. And notice you saw I was losing altitude that I was going through there, so you have to give it throttle midway through the turn. If you turn it in the direction of the wind, it'll actually want to pick up versus come down. So, another. Alright. So again, start working on our turns. Pull it back. Starts getting out of your work area. Bring it down a little bit. Out. Working on our turns. Now this quadcopter is pretty docile, so you're seeing I'm moving the controls, both the collective and the pitch roll. I'm moving them pretty much all the way. You see it's just nice and smooth. That's why I say this is really good beginner's quadcopter. On other quadcopters, it would be a lot less on the controls. Bring it back into my work area. Keeping the nose facing out from me so I keep my orientation. And here we go again. Forward pitch. Out. Bring it back. Forward pitch. To the right. Bring it back. Throttle control. Always thinking throttle control. Yep, another car. Another turn. And if you just hang on to it, as long as you got the space, it'll just keep turning for you. Bring it back, face it away from me, throttle down. It's coming down, 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 throttle up just to stabilize it. Throttle up. So you can see you're always massaging your throttle. And I've got a wind to my left, slightly pushing the breeze. Every now and then it slightly pushes the quadcopter to the right and back. So just come out and practice these slow, graceful turns. Again, throttle control. Back over. Bring it back down. You can see this is a very stable quadcopter for beginners to learn on. I highly recommend it. So once you get used to doing left turns and right turns, you start putting those together and you get a figure 8. So that's what you start practicing. You go out, left and right, bring it back, wind's pushing me, do a nice turn, bring it back into my work area, do it again, right and left, and just sit there and practice this, and practice. And get really good at doing your turns. You can do them short turns, or you can be a lot longer in your turn. It just depends on how far you move the collective or the yaw, and how far you roll to a particular direction. You can do really long turns. And then you start having fun, get some altitude like that, just come in and do these real graceful sweeping turns. Bring it back to you. Again, we're putting all the basics together of hovering, forward and backwards pitch, left and right roll, and then all you're doing is you're transitioning both sticks into that to be able to do your turns. And you notice how I oriented my body towards the direction of the quadcopter, so it's coming around me and I'm orienting my body. So that's another trick, beginner, is to orient the same direction. And there goes my battery. So we'll continue this on the next battery. Okay, so putting together everything we learned, we're going out, and you can either make really quick little turns here, as quick as this quadcopter will do them. It's very slow and docile. To the right, bringing it back down. Again, throttle control. Always be thinking throttle control. Otherwise, what happened? That quadcopter, the wind to pick it up, it'll get up here and you start freaking out. Don't freak out. Just remember, keep it oriented away from you like this, and practice your basics, which is throttle control. Bring it back down towards you. So don't freak out if the quadcopter gets up real high like this and you say, oh my gosh, it's gone away. Just keep the orientation of it facing away from you. And throttle management, just easy, bring it down, bring it down. And you'll have it back. The thing is, just don't freak out, don't completely cut the throttle on these things. Alright, so remember, throttle control or you get away from you on altitude. And the wind will pick up your quadcopter real easy and take off with it. Practicing basics, we're going. Pitching back, pitching forward, turning to the left, turning to the right, another car, bringing it down, throttle control, bringing it back down into my workspace. And we're making our turns. And we're going to do a figure 8, and they don't have to be real tight. Turn one direction, make it turn another direction. And again, if it makes you feel comfortable, orient yourself the way the quadcopter is. It's coming this way, it's coming by you, orient your body, turn with it, and then bring it back down the street that way, and then back away from you. So that is the basics of turning.